So, question number one, throwing back to the origins of your career, how did the passion for acting come about in your life? Well, it probably started when I was in a Christmas winter play at school when I was a young child, maybe about 8 years old. The rest of the class recited "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" while I acted out the part of the narrator. And I wanted to perform again throughout my childhood. And I'd act out scenes from TV shows at home, or I'd dance along with shows and music that were on TV at the time. But I never really got a chance to act again until my last year of high school. I had been discouraged by my family and even my friends from studying it formally until after I was done with university. Question number two. Among all the roles you've had the chance to play throughout your career, is there any particular role you're most fond of and why? Well, on stage, I had the opportunity to play Creon in a new translation of Antigone. The theater company I was working with spent a year developing the play, and we even had a chance to work with the Grotowski Institute in Poland to find new ways of adding movement and vocal sound to the project. And playing what most people consider to be a villain was a really unique challenge because as I did more research into the history of Creon, I found a way to empathize with him and to understand what he was trying to do and how he thought what he was doing was just right for his country. And it made me realize that in most conflicts, both sides truly believe that they're right. But if we could just try to understand the other side and compromise, so much could actually be gained. In fact, I actually remember chatting with the actress who was playing Antigone at the time and asking and saying, why couldn't he just try reasoning with her or make an exception? Or why couldn't she have just waited another day to try talking with him? And this actress just looked at me very sympathetically and she said, honey, if they did that, we wouldn't have a story to tell today. And it made me realize that that's the role of theater and tragedies in particular. It's to teach us sometimes what not to do in real life. Question number three. We are particularly fond of This Is Us, Good Trouble in the Morning show, and to possibly share something about my experiences on these projects. Well, I have to say, This Is Us was such a great experience, and it was an honor to be on the episode where Mandy Moore made her directing debut. That was the first time she'd ever directed. And she was also acting later that day, so she was made up to look really old. And since it was also during COVID and COVID protocols, she was also wearing a mask at the time because she was behind the camera. So when she walked up to me to introduce herself, I didn't recognize her at all. And I actually kind of jumped back a little bit because I was surprised. And when I worked on Good Trouble, the series lead, Sierra Ramirez, was the first person to welcome me to set. And she made me feel so incredibly welcomed and included. And to have a young woman of color as well as the series lead behave like that, to behave like such a great leader, it really gave me hope for the future and for the industry. She just walked up to me and she said, hi, have you been checked in yet? Do you know where your trailer is? Let me get someone over to help you. That was just amazing. It was a reminder that the way you behave towards others, no matter what their role is, it can really set the right tone for everyone on set. And I'm always going to remember those people and those good experiences. And I hope that I can pass along that same kind of positive energy with other people that I work with. If I had to give some advice to people who want to pursue an acting career, what kind of advice would I give them? Well, it's pretty easy. Study, read, take in not only all the life experiences that you see and hear all around you, but also immerse yourself in culture and as many forms of creative expression as you can. I think it gives you a greater artistic vocabulary to draw from, and it can make you a much more capable actor. Knowing and appreciating the classics as well as new works from diverse voices, they'll only flavor your performances in the best way possible. You won't just be a flash in the pan, you'll be an actor that people will want to work with again and again. Okay, can you tell us something about Housefire and what it means to you? Well, Housefire is a collection of poetry and short stories written by my late husband, Jim Naraki, who died of cancer 5 years ago. And although some of his work had been previously published in magazines and anthologies and literary journals, he always wanted to leave his mark on the world with a book. He just wanted to be remembered, and to be remembered in print. He wasn't able to see this happen before he died, so I took it upon myself to carry on his mission, and I reached out to a Brooklyn publisher whose mission was to actually champion first-time authors. And I wrote them a heartfelt letter about Jim and his struggles with cancer and the traditional publishing industry. And I think something must have moved them because they agreed to publish his work. And even though I briefly worked in magazine publishing and print design before, I had never worked on a book. So this was a completely new experience. And the publisher, Leland Chook, said, let's make a book that Jim's going to be proud of. And I think we did it. And seeing someone else's dream through is, I think, the ultimate act of love. And I'm glad that I was able to do that for Jim. And I'd like to think that we would all go to similar lengths for someone that we love. What can you tease about your next projects? Well, we just came out of an actor strike, so I'm back to auditioning and promoting myself and projects that I couldn't really talk about while we were on strike. A kid's special that is perfect for this winter season is American Girl, Corinne Tan, which just came out recently on Amazon Prime Video. It's a fun live action feature based on the American Girl doll line and last year's Girl of the Year, Corinne Tan, who's focused on winter sports and athletics and adventure. And also one of my pilots for years to come has been making the rounds on the film festival circuit. It's been doing really well with a lot of sold out screenings in Los Angeles and New York and other cities. And it's such a lovely, heartwarming story with a little plot twist, a fun plot twist. And it features me as well as the creator and writer, James Patrick Nelson, as romantic leads. And it's a role that we're not usually cast in, even within the LGBT community. So that's a nice change of pace. And the entire team behind it hopes that we can get more funding and distribution for additional episodes soon. But in the meantime, hopefully you can see it at a film festival coming near you. And also a second season of Not So Straight in Silver Lake has just premiered on the streaming service Here TV. And it also features Daniel Francesi from Mean Girls and Looking, as well as amazing trans pioneer and actress Calpurnia Adams. Great working with them. And I also appear in several episodes of season 2 of The Disappointments, which is a hilarious web series that first got its start on YouTube. And season 2 really expands on the cast and the stories and the production value, so it's amazing. It's got some great writing from the director and lead actor Rich Burns, and I'm just so thrilled to be able to work with Asian American actor legend Getty Watanabe. And this new season is so over-the-top funny, and it just takes all the laughs to a new level. All right, thanks.